Okay, everybody, just stand by if you would, please. As we get this going, our live stream for today, it is April 16, 2026 at 12:27 p.m. Eastern. Let me just say hello to you. Something you're going to notice has changed right away. I got a haircut today. I just got back from getting a haircut and had some lunch at Pizza Hut. They have a buffet near me in Mount Dora. So I am just getting back in, and I thought I would play out these games that I normally would play in private out for you all as we resume in-week action in the Time Travel League baseball. So let me just get out of the way here. We are on the display feed screen. So have an afternoon delight. Probably a lot of afternoon games in the major leagues anyway. When we left you last night, the Wings were up 40 and 27. They're 2 games ahead of everybody. Sultans were leading the B division. And we are going to pick up play with Wednesday's games. The games that we have been doing in the series have been Saturday games. So today we're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get you set up for Saturday. We had a pretty good audience watching the live stream I did last night. Thank you very much for that. We had close to 40 people, which for me is a lot. So we're going to play June 20th, a Wednesday. And let me look at the pitching matchups and we'll see which game. Oh, we got Randy Johnson against Greg Maddux. It's a 774 total. Sleever against Plank is 641. See if anything can beat 641. But I'm going to do Randy Johnson and Greg Maddux, the Futurists against the Niners, who do not play in San Francisco. They play out of Riverfront in Cincinnati. They are the old 90s team, and the Futurists is the old 21st century team. So we'll get this game going at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. I will play as the Niners. Frank Thomas is the DH. I always look to the DH because sometimes the game will put like backup catchers in at DH, which doesn't make any sense because if the catcher gets hurt, then you got to put your other catcher in, and you lose your DH rights. Yeah, this looks good. This looks like a good lineup, so we'll just start playing the game.
Pitching for Niners, Greg Maddux.
Now let me just make one. Okay, that's not going to do it. I'm going to put the. I noticed that there was an echo last night when I put the game, the speaker, and then it kind of created like a double feed. So let's just do it this way. And a pleasant hello to you all. This fine Thursday afternoon here on the east coast of Florida. Mookie Betts leading off, 255. Limited commentary we do during these games. Maddux will deal. And that is strike 3, Maddux getting the K. Ella is here. She's looking out the window at the road. David Wright up hitting 200. And that is grounded to third base. Chipper Jones over to Mark McGuire for the out. The Niners are, of course, the 90s team. The Futurists, the 21st century team. But there are travelers, players from any era who could play on any of these teams. Albert Pujols is up 320. And that's a strikeout. Alomar leading off, hitting 239 with he's got 18 stolen bases. So let's see what he can do here against Randy Johnson. 431, and his whip is way up. Should be 1086. It's at 1654. So he's hittable. Long fly out the center there. Von Rodriguez hitting second. And a fly to right. Betts will get to that. Frank Thomas, the big hurt, which was a big single for Miss Tony Fisher back around the late 1950s, early 60s. Now it begins. Grounder to third, over to first. That's going to bring up Barry. Barry Bonds, 13 homers, 39 RBIs, 279, and an OPS only of 961. And there you go, Barry. A-Rod up. He's a little off his pace. To third, over to first. Jones to McGuire for out number 2. So we'll do 2 more games after this. Then we'll come back tonight and do the wrestling. RCW will do our This Week in RCW Live. Aiming to do that some point after 7 p.m. today. Jim Edmonds is up, 837. Is his OPS. That's skied. But Larry Walker's going to make the catch. Mark McGuire, 20 home runs on the season, 49 ribbies, average of 239. And our game of the week will be a normal game of the week. We will do it live to tape, and I'll put it up on YouTube when finished. Larry Walker is 744, 8 homers, 31 ribbies, and that average down to 270. And his OPS is way off. Should be at 1,002. It's at 744. Betts is charging. He makes the play there. Great play. Niners were the cellar dwellers in this league up until recently. The Spirit Squad from the 70s has taken over that dubious distinction. Albert Bell. Safe is the call at first. You think the AstroTurf would favor good bounces for A-Rod, but he was just a little slow transferring it over to Pujols. And Barry Larkin now up, 247. Is he? Ball 4. That's going to bring up the Hawk, Andre Dawson, 324. He did play in the 90s. He was mainly known for his play in the 70s and the 80s, as you hear the vendor calling for beer. 2 outs, bottom of the second. A scoreless tie. And a strikeout. So we go to Joe Mauer, who was leading off in a game we did last night. 294 batting average. A homer, 22 RBIs. His OPS, 745. So a lot of hitters off of their pace and a lot of pitchers over their pace in terms of the stats, the whip and the OPS. Oh, that might get out of here. No, it bounces off the wall. It's a double for Mauer, his 13th of the season. We'll go to Prince Fielder. Maddox is 6-6, 3.36 ERA, counting the first 2 innings. Fielder, the Larkin, the McGuire, but Mauer will advance to third on that grounder. Alonso Soriano, 644 OPS. He was known for his home run power, but he's only connected on a long ball 6 times so far. Oh, great play by Chipper Jones there, a web gem. 1 more out for the futurist in the third. Here's Mookie, top of the order. Larkin, McGuire, there you go. That's going to bring up Chipper. Chipper Jones is a 500 hitter, but he's only had 14 at-bats, has seen limited playing time so far this season. That's a walk, a Chipper. On board at first, back to the top of the order, and Roberto Alomar. 63%, that's just over the threshold I like to steal, so let's go for the steal here. And an error is going to move Jones to third, as Maurer committing the error behind the plate. Throw went wild, and Jones is over at third base. Alomar 0 for 1. Now he's 0 for 2. Brings up Irod, 273 hitter. So you got Rodriguez for the Niners, and you got a Rodriguez for the Futurists. And this is sky to left, but right to Bonds. And Jones went for home plate, and they successfully get the sac fly. It's 1-0 Niners. Frank Thomas back up, 0 for 1. Oh, and Wright got handcuffed by the grounder, but still made the putout. The assist on the putout. And the Niners have taken a 1-0 lead. Let me just call up the chat and just look at that for a moment before heading back to the game. I don't expect anybody to say hello. I must say, I'm doing this at like 12:40 in the PM. Back to David Wright, who's now hitting 199, but I don't control the Futurist. I control the Niners. I always try to control the home team. Wright aboard with a walk to bring up Pujols. He's 0 for 1 with a K. Grounder to McGuire, and that's going to move right over to second. Maddox could go 120 pitches. He's at 42 through the first 10 outs, and Randy Johnson can go 130. Barry Bonds up, pardon for my burping, 277, 0 for 1 today. Skied to right and say goodbye to that as Barry Bonds hits a round tripper. Number 14 on the year for Barry, and it's now 2-1 in favor of the Futurists. A-Rod, not the guy you want to see after Barry Bonds hits a homer, is 0 for 1. And he connects, and that will bounce off the wall. And Rodriguez, with some fancy footwork around the bases, goes to third with a triple. Now, Edmonds is a 273 hitter, but the next guy, Maurer, is 297. So I'm going to bring the infield in and hope not for a ground ball. Just try to keep any more runs from scoring. To McGuire, that was a line drive, and McGuire, playing in, made a leaping grab to bring up Joe Mauer, who I am going to walk. No, actually, no, we'll pitch to him. We'll pitch to him. That's Sky to right. Walker will make the play. 2-1 going to the bottom of the fourth. This first game of 3. Mark McGuire up. Big Mac has 20 home runs, 49 ribbies, is only hitting 238, and his OPS is way off the pace he should be at 847. Hit him! And McGuire just says nothing, just goes to first base, just takes it like a man. Larry Walker now up 0 for 1. A grounder, Rodriguez to Soriano to get the force at second, but that's going to give Larry Walker a chance to steal, which we're going to take. Well, he couldn't get going. Now he's at a 51%. He was before the pitch at 76, so we'll just leave him at first. Try a hit and run here with Albert Bell. Oh, right to Rodriguez, and that turns into a double play. Oh, backfire. So we go to the fifth with the score 2-1. So if anybody's seeing this live chat, hello to you all around the world, wherever you are. Sounds like the lyrics to... See, I have Asperger's syndrome, so I'm blessed with this mind that can remember fragments like crazy. So I know that's the lyrics from Pop Music by M, because that was a song I heard over and over again when I was a kid. Da, 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 da. Strikeout for Maddox. Talk about pop music. Soriano, 236. That was by M, who was a one-hit wonder here in our country. 0 for 1 is Soriano, 236. Number 9 hitter. Number 9, number 9. That's a grounder to Jones, retired on the throw to first. 2 outs now, top of the fifth. Almost to the halfway point of game 1. Mookie Betts is 0 for 2. Now he's 1 for 3 on that base hit, and he scoots his way to second and gets in there. David Wright up with that 199 batting average with him. Now this is another player where he's facing better pitching and he's been kind of exposed. He's at 595 in terms of OPS. And there's a K. So Randy Johnson comes in to pitch the fifth. 1 run given up, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Apologize for my burpiness. As I said, I just got back from a Pizza Hut buffet over in Lake Dora. And Larkin is hitting 247. He doesn't have an official at bat yet. Because he walked in the second inning. Corners are in. I'm not planning on bunting. Maybe we could take advantage of that. Yep, base hit. Base hit for Larkin. He's another guy we could steal with. Let's do it. Trying to get that tying run the second. Yes, he gets there. 15 stolen bases for Barry Larkin. Now you got the Hawk, Andre Dawson, just off his OPS pace at 838. He's at 797, 0 for 1 and a K. Strike 3 called. So Andre retired. Mainly of the Montreal Expos and the Chicago Cubs. I think he did have a stint with the New York Yankees near the end of his career. Chipper is without an official at bat because he walked in the third. Hit to Rodriguez over to first. That was a grounder. So 6-3 on the out there. Folks, I'm going to go mute for a second. Forgive me. I just had a large belch in me. Alomar is 0 for 2. Let's see what he does. Rodriguez had him played perfectly. So we'll go to the sixth with the score 2-1. Maddox is at 72 pitches. He can go 120 without difficulty, we think. And Randy Johnson is the same. Pujols. Oh, he got plunked by Maddox. That's the second hit by pitch we've had in this game. McGuire got hit by Randy Johnson. And I'm sure it hurt with the velocity that Randy Johnson can throw at. And we go to Barry Bonds, who had the homer in the fourth. See what he does. Smoked that one all right, but Walker will get to that. That brings up A-Rod, who is 1 for 2. Base hit to left. That's going to move Pujols to third. Runners at the corners for Jim Edmonds. Bring my infield in halfway, so we can get a play at the plate. We can take it. There's a K, clutch K for Greg Maddox. 2 runs, both earned, 5 hits, a homer given up to Barry Bonds. Nothing to be ashamed of with that. He's walked 1 and struck out 6. And here is Joe Mauer. And Mauer up the middle. Larkin goes to McGuire, and that's it for the 6th. 2-5-1 for the Futurist and 1-2-0 for the Niners as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And Irod, I should say. He hits it to A-Rod and throws to Pujols for the first out. Back to the big hurt Frank Thomas, who's 0 for 2. That's well hit. We have a tie game. Home run for Frank Thomas, round tripper number 20 for him. And we have a tie game at 2-2. Johnson's at 85 pitches. He can go 130. That brings up Big Mac, who's 238 on the year, 20 homers and 49 ribbies. Ball 4, so he is aboard. Too early to bring a pinch runner in. Can't really run all that well. Larry Walker, 0 for 2. Rodriguez, A-Rod over to Pujols for the out there. So a runner at second with 2 outs. Now I got to sneeze. Okay, I just muted myself so you didn't hear that. Albert Bell is 1 for 2. Let's see if he can bring McGuire in. Base hit up the middle. McGuire is going to score. A throwing error is going to bring Bell to second base. Second error for the Futurists. Throw by Edmonds causing an error. It went wide and by Joe Mauer. 3-2 now. 2 runs in the 9th or 6th have given them the lead. And here is Barry Larkin. Hit well, but Edmonds will get to that. Maddox looks strong. Yeah, probably could go one more inning, I'm thinking. Let me just see if anybody's there, and nobody is. So let's get you back to the game. And Prince Fielder 0 for 2. Sky to center. Andre Dawson will get to that. First out. Here's Soriano. Bell will make the play in left field. A web gem of a play, we're being told. 2 outs now for Mookie Betts. The Futurists need a run here. They're not going to get it. So Maddox is at 102. He can go 120. Probably have him start the 8th. And Andre Dawson up the middle. Soriano with a nice play over to Pujols for the first out in the bottom of the 7th. Chipper Jones. A strikeout for Randy Johnson. That is number 5 for him today. He's up to 110, so he's on borrowed time. Back to the top of the order, and Roberto Alomar, who's 0 for 3. That's a K. So you see the report there that Maddox appears fine. I'm going to go until he puts a base runner on or gives up a homer to tie the game. Here's David Wright. A K. Maddox up to 107. Pujols. That's going to be a base hit, and that's going to be it for Maddox. Goes to third, and he's in there with a triple. First triple of the year for Pujols. I'm going to take Maddox out. Bonds is a lefty. I don't want to bring in David Wells just to have him pitch to one guy. John Wetland has pitched the last 4 games. Can't use him. Saberhagen has not been used as of late. That's who we'll go with, Brett Saberhagen. And we'll have him try to do a 5-out close here, as Wetland needs a rest. So in our season, our Time Travel League season, Brett Saberhagen is 7.32 ERA, 1-1. His WHIP is obscene at 1.729. I'm going to walk Barry Bonds, and I'm going to bring up A-Rod and try to get a double play here. Bring the infield in, and here we go. Throw back at first, and Bonds got back safely. Be nice if Saberhagen could get a strikeout here. Nope, up the middle, a base hit, we have a tie game. Bonds moved to second. Rodriguez is at first with a single, and it's 3-3. Jim Edmonds is up. He is 0 for 3. That's a K. We needed a K on on Alex Rodriguez and didn't get it, but now we got it. So there's 2 outs now for Joe Mauer. Base hit. We'll watch Bonds. He's going to score. And a double is going to bring A-Rod in. 2 runs score on the play. And it's 5-3. It was A-Rod coming in, I think, with Bonds. Well, you'll see it on the replay. I'm probably wrong. But anyway, here is Prince Fielder. Pitch around him. Jones gets it. And an out at first base. So a very critical inning there for the Futurists to take the lead. And we will go to A-Rod. 272. Pujols to Johnson covering for the first out. Back to Frank Thomas. He had a homer in his last at bat. Tied the game. And that's a strikeout. And Mark McGwire smoked at the center, but right to Edmonds. Top of the ninth now, with the Futurists looking for win number 38, each team playing game number 68 on this 154-game season. Each team plays the other 11 teams 14 times, a 3-game series, a 4-game series at home and away. So Alfonso is 0 for 3. Then we go back to the top of the order. Larkin, safe at first base. Okay. Going to keep him in because he's not the tying run. The next base runner who gets on board would be. Well, actually, no. No, I don't control this team. I don't control the Futurists. I control the Niners, who have a 2-run lead. Not trailing by 2. And Betts pops that baby up to Albert Bell, and he gets the first out. Keep Soriano honest. Pitch out. David Wright. Soriano gets stolen base number 7. But we can pitch around Wright. That's a base hit. We'll watch Soriano. He scored. No, he's out at the plate. Nice play there, and that keeps the Niners in this at 5-3. 2 outs now for Pujols. And Dawson with the grab. A great play for Andre. So the Niners need a couple of runs to stay alive. Larry Walker 0 for 3. Johnson's still out there. That's a K. And now he's in the red, 133 pitches. So they're going to keep him out there. Albert Bell up. A walk. Now do you bring somebody in? Yes, Mariano Rivera coming in. Tied with the league lead with saves at 7. Not a big relief pitchers league. But Rivera is a righty, 482, 2-3, 7 saves. His whip is 1.464, but he's still getting saves. Okay, do I have any lefties here that can pinch hit for Larkin? And my best bet is Ken Griffey Jr. I'm sure we have another guy who could play shortstop. Griffey Jr., 235, 9 homers, 21 ribbies, and a 726 OPS. That's a K. 2 outs now for Andre Dawson, the last chance for the Niners in this game. Base hit down the line in left field. Bell coming in. He scores and it's 5-4. Now, pinch runner for Dawson's going to be Greg Vigio. See if Jones can do it. Skied to center, and the Futurists are going to win this game 5-4. So the Futurists win 5-4. Let me just run the other games from this day. And then we'll go on to our Thursday game. So, yes, Rodriguez probably the star, 3 or 4 and a triple. So let's play out the other games. Spirit's a winner. Pioneers win 8-5 over the 40s Spitfires. The Aces 5-4 over the 80s Stars. The Wings 5-2, and the Explorers win a close one, 2-1. Pioneers had 16 hits in that 8-5 win. And those were the highlights. The Wings are now 41 and 27. They are 2 ahead of the Pioneers. The Sultans and Futurists are tied for the Group B lead. And I'll chat with you guys a little bit if there's anybody to chat with. Okay, see, 610, 610. Our next game will be the Aces hosting the Stars. Suede Mustache. Yes, Luke, you got to watch both live streams. Very true. Currently on a lunch break. So I'm just taking a break here for a moment. See if I can go this way. Okay. I'm trying to show my cat Ella, who is still around, thank God. She's now right underneath me. Got a haircut. Yes, I mentioned that at the start. I got a haircut. There is a country barber shop not too far from me, and yeah, I got a haircut. I was overdue for one. So we'll go ahead and get to this second game. Stars and the Aces. I'll check the chat every 3 innings. Walter Johnson going. He's our ERA leader. I'll control the Aces. See the lineup there. Brian Downing is the DH. I'm going to put somebody in there that I know it's the computer team, but I don't like seeing backup catchers playing DH. Because what if you need that catcher? We're going to go with Dale Murphy to play the DH. Okay, off we go. Right, honey? So this is the Thursday game. The Aces are 500 at 34 and 34. The Stars are 27 and 41. Game number 69 for each team. Rhino leading off for the 80s Stars, 319. His OPS, he's actually doing better than his OPS should be at 883. Walter Johnson dealing. Grounder, a base hit to right center, but Sandberg tries to stretch it for a double and gets called out. And a walk to Dale Murphy. Tell you that Walter Johnson now has an ERA at 157. If you've been watching the games of the week that I have been doing, Walter Johnson's usually on top of the ERAs, him or Eddie Yoss. So George Brett, 294, 11 homers and 40 ribeyes. Grounder to Roland, but he has trouble getting that grounder, so that's an error. Weather this night at Comiskey Park, 79 degrees, wind out to right at 10. Raining rather significantly, but not enough to call the game as of yet. Dwight Evans, 235, 4 homers, 21 ribbies. I'll just double check and make sure I am up here. Yes, I am. There's Ella. Let me just show you Ella real quick. There she is. So Walter dealing to Evans. Double play. 6-4-3 double play. So Guidry has a 4.67 ERA, 6-4. His WHIP is 1.373. Cobb has been among the base stealing leaders with 27 currently, 325, 6 homers, 40 ribbies. OPS at 809. Yount with the play, a close play, and Yount's throw made the difference there for the first out. Paul Molitor, 242, no homers yet this season and 19 RBIs. Threat to bunt, so the Stars bringing their corner infielders in. That's going to go down the line, and Molitor just gets in for his 11th double of the year. Sam Crawford, Wahoo Sam, 281. Base hit, that will bring in Molitor, 1-0. Ace is leading. Cherry McGee, 294. Crawford, I think, might be a traveler. I know Palmero, Roland, Posano, and Cano are. So McGee skies that to left, and Winfield making the play close to the wall for the second out. And here is Rafael Palmero. 10 homers, 42 ribbies, an OPS of 741. Brett making the play, throws to Guidry at first. Carlos Beltran is up. Strike 3. First K for Walter. Dave Winfield, 268, 9 homers, 260, I beg your pardon. That 0 with the slash in it sometimes looks like an 8 to me. But Winfield has 9 homers and 36 RBIs. Winfield, a base hit to left. Brings up Pedro Guerrero. 3 homers, 13 RBIs. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time, only 68 at bats in 69 Stars games. That's a base hit, and Winfield will hold at second to bring up Robin Yount, 292, 9 homers, 33 RBIs. That OPS just about right at 879. There's a K. 2 outs now for Gary Carter, who hits in the 9-hole. 13 homers, 43 ribbies. That's a walk. Bases loaded for Rhino. As we go to the top of the order, he's 1 for 1 today. Oh, it hit him. Hit by pitch RBI for Sandberg. That'll be 22 on the year. And it is a tie game at 1-1. So the Stars tie it, but Sandberg paid the price. Dale Murphy, 326. He's had limited at-bats this year. Scott Rowland up for the Aces, one of the Travelers, as they start the bottom of the second. Beltran makes the play at the warning track for the first out. Beltran, a Traveler, because he started playing, I think, in the 90s, then into the aughts. Jorge, 247. That's a K for Guidry. His first of the game to bring up Robinson Cano. And that's a pass ball on a third strike that's going to put Cano at first base. Bringing up Art Fletcher. Fletch, grounder to third. George Brett is 0 for 1. Base hit to right center. Bringing up Dwight Evans again. Base hit left center. First and second and nobody out for Carlos Beltran. 0 for 1 and a K. Now he's 0 for 2 and 2 Ks. Bringing up Dave Winfield, who's 1 for 1 today. That's hit well to left. McGee at the warning track makes the play, and the runners hold. Pedro Guerrero, 348, a 1 for 1 today, and that's a K. So Ty Cobb back up. Stars playing their corner infielders in again. But that's a base hit to left for Tyrus Raymond Cobb. A threat to steal, absolutely. Let's go for it. He's in there. Stolen base 28 on the year. And Molitor up, 1 for 1. Of course, he just managed the Minnesota Twins for a while. Sandberg to Brett for the first out. We're going to try a safety squeeze here. But foul. And we can't do that again with the count 0-2. Passed ball, and Cobb came in. Count now 1-2 to Crawford. Grounder to first. Brett steps on the bag. Bringing up Sherry McGee, who is 0 for 1. Hit well to center. Beltran making the play at the warning track near the wall. Okay, see if I can make my wastebasket. And yes. Okay, good. Robin yowed up. Let me just check the chat real fast. Yount is 0 for 1. Fletcher with the line drive out there. Bringing up Gary Carter. Played for Montreal and then the Mets and then a few other teams. The Dodgers is one I could think of off the top of my head. Cobb back at the wall with that play. 2 outs now for Ryan Sandberg as we go back to the top of the order. Base hit to left center. Try to pick Rhino off. No. Try to pitch out. No. Stolen base number 7 for Rhino. Dale Murphy hits. He's 0 for 1. He's only had 90 at bats, and this is his 91st, which is going to be a ground out. So the score 2-1. We have Rafael Palmeiro up. Again, he is 0 for 1. In a game we had last night, one of the games, Palmeiro hit a home run. Roland, grounder 6-3. He's out. And Jorge Posada is 0 for 1. Base hit to left for Jorge to bring up Robinson Cano. Sandberg to Yount for the force at second. And the side's retired. And starting the 5th inning for the Stars with that 2-1 deficit is George Brett, who is 1 for 2. He of the pine tar bat in that incident with the Yankees in '83. Ground out to the right side of the infield retires Brett, and we go to Dwight Evans. Cano to Palmeiro, another 4-3 ground out. Bringing up Carlos Beltran, 0 for 2 and 2 Ks, but that's going to make him 1 for 3. That base hit there is going to bring up Dave Winfield at 1 for 2. 9 home runs. Roland, the long throw over the first is going to get him. So Art Fletcher is up 283, 0 for 1 today. Base hit. Guidry, 4 innings pitched, 2 runs, 2 runs were both earned, 5 hits and 3 Ks. Back to the top of the order and Ty Cobb. And they check on Fletcher at first base. Right to Yount, gets Brett at first. The throw to Brett in time to get Cobb. So a runner at second, and that leaves first base open with Paul Molitor at bat. That's a walk to bring up Wahoo Sam Crawford, 1 for 2 on the day. And we have a rain delay. It's an official game. The game is over. It ends with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And because the home team was leading, the game is over. So this one ends abruptly with the Aces winning 2-1 in the 5th inning. So Walter Johnson was the MVP. So that game ended abruptly, but there was heavy rain at Comiskey Park. I was telling you last night I saw a game from '74. They had highlights of it from YouTube between the Angels and the White Sox. They were playing in the snow, and once the snow started to stick at Comiskey Park, they called the game. Said we're not going to try to play anymore. They just went on and called it. So a 2-1 win for the Aces. They go to 35-34 on the year, while the Stars are now 27-42. If the Niners win, the Stars will stay in last place amongst all teams. We'll just toggle these games here. A 12-6 win for the Niners. So the Stars are still in last. The Spirits 5-2 winners. Spitfires 5-1 over the Pioneers. Sultans defeat the Wings 3-1. Babe Ruth had another homer, his 22nd, and Lou Gehrig also hit his 22nd for the Ironmen, the 1930s players, as they beat the Explorers 6-1. Niners hit 5 home runs in that game, in that 12-6 win over the Futurists. Albert Bell of the Niners had 2 of them. 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and Larry Walker also had a home run. The Spirits stole 5 bases. Dick Donovan for the Wings, in a losing effort, went the distance and gave up 1 earned run. So there's the facts and figures. The Wings are still leading Group A by 2. The Sultans are ahead of the Futurists by 1. And we'll wait for the stats to get tabulated. There you go. Lou Gehrig now your batting leader. Walter Johnson way ahead of everybody in ERA. Home runs is now Gehrig and Roof tied at 22. A 4-way tie for the wins lead between Jenkins, Alexander, Russi, and White. Stan Musial has tied Joe DiMaggio with 61 ribbies. Rivera picked up his 8th save, as you saw in the first game we did of 3. On base percentage, Gehrig is ahead by 3 1,000ths of a point over Ted Williams, and Bob Gibson has the best opposing batting average. The lower the better figure, and he is at 205. So let me just bookmark the game we'll play for Friday, and that'll be it until our game of the week. 1:16 now on Thursday. Let's see. 9, 7, 5, 6. We'll do Sultan's Pioneers next. Feller against Ed Morris, who we had yesterday, I think. A rain delay, what a way to win. Yep, that sometimes happens at Action PC Baseball. The game was official. Although the rules for Rain delays, I think they have changed. I think they would have just, in modern day rules, they just would have suspended the game and played it out at a later date. Uh, but yeah, that's what happened. So over to, I think this is the Polo Grounds we're going to next for the Spitfires Pioneers game. Pioneers are basically 19th century players, although they have a lot of travelers that made the starting lineup. And we're going to the Polo Grounds. I will play as the Pioneers. Then we'll call it a stream, and I'll be back later tonight for RCW. Now that I know that the live stream's working, I just might as well just do everything I do right here. We did a Pioneer game last night. Carlton Fisk is the DH. How many catchers do they have? Oh, they have a bunch. Well, actually, they have a couple that are inactive. Yeah, so they could bring Pena in, Tony Pena in, if they need a catcher, if Hartnett got hurt. So I will allow it. And we'll go ahead and get this game started. So the Polo Grounds hosting this game, 81 degrees, clear and calm. He's going to take a look at Augie Galan. Only had 3 at bats the whole year. He's playing center. Base hit for Augie. That's going to move him to 2 out of 4. Bringing up Ina Slaughter, 272. That OPS a little off of what he should be doing. Morris deals. Base hit right field. And that's going to bring in Galan, and that's going to move Slaughter over to second. Ted Williams up, 336. The splendid splinter. Still splendid in this league. 9 homers, 37 RBIs. Plays left. Skied to right, and Duffy, oh, this is going to be close. He makes the grab. Slaughter's going to advance to third. To bring up Gabby Hartnett. Homer in the gloaming. Look that up. 11 homers, 51 ribbies, 269, an OPS of 809. Base hit to Gonzalez, and the score down 2-0. Roger Connor, 228 on the year, OPS of 674. 7 homers, 36 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. Don't have a real base-stealing king on this Spitfire squad. Trainer over to Cepeda for the next out. That's the second. And now you go to Joe Gordon. Only 115 at bats for Joe. He's hitting 296. His OPS actually is better than it should be at 894, 5 homers, 31 RBIs. Gonzalez with the put out there. So we go to Hugh Duffy. Feller has been up there in terms of strikeouts. He's at 100 now in 104 innings. He's been among the strikeout leaders most of the way in the Time Travel League. 389, a 6-3 mark with a whip of 1.337. Duffy at 286, a 709 OPS, 2 homers, 20 RBIs. He's also been a contender for the Stolen Base Championship. He's at 26. Out there as Robinson scooped that up. Of course, they called Brooks Robinson the human vacuum cleaner. Christian Yelich, 297. 6 homers, 27 ribeyes. His OPS at 788. He's a traveler playing on this 19th century squad. That goes to Galan in deep right center. We're out number 2, and we'll go to Pie Trainer. And that's a grounder to shortstop. So that brings up Lou Boudreau. Lou Boudreau, old Shufflefoot, .264 is OPS at .685, but he's in there because he's a good defender at shortstop. Also used to do the Chicago Cub games with Jack Brickhouse. There's some footage of him calling games, including the famous game from, I think it was May 16th, 1979, the 23-22 game. Wasn't too bad a play-by-play hand, and that is a grounder to the left side of the infield for that out. That's one. For Carlton Fisk, Fisk has not seen a lot of action, but his OPS at .898, and it's going to improve after the walk by Ed Morris. Brooks Robinson up, as Ella is demanding more attention. A base hit to right field. She's going in to use the litter box. Runners at first and second for Augie Galan, 1-for-1 today. Trainer with a misplay. That's an error, and everybody's going to move up, so the base is full of Spitfires. For Ina Slaughter. Won the 1946 World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals with his mad dash. That's skied to left. Luis Gonzalez makes the play. Run will score on the sac fly, and Robinson moved to third. 3-0 now, Spitfires. That brings up Ted Williams. I'm going to pitch to him, although it wouldn't be a bad play to walk him and force Gabby Hartnett up. And I'm going to wish I walked him. That's going to score another run, a single for Williams. It's 4-0, and it's almost get the hook time for Ed Morris. Gabby Hartnett, .272, 1-for-1 today. A walk. Bringing up Roger Connor, .228. 0-for-1. Sky to the shortstop. So Ed Morris is going to live to pitch a few more innings, maybe not that many. Gary Sheffield up, the Tampa native, .285. A traveler on this Pioneer squad. 12 homers, 46 ribeyes. Sky to center. Galen going back. He's got a lot of room in that center field. Center field some 550 feet away. And that brings up Luis Gonzalez, .234. 8 homers, 37 ribbies. Sky to right center. That is not coming back. That's a home run for Luis Gonzalez. He gave that a charge. First hit of the day for the Pioneers. It's 4-1. He smoked that one. That's homer number 9 for Luis. And here is Orlando Cepeda. That's a K. Bringing up Miguel Tejada. The first K of the game for Bob Feller. Sky to first base. Roger Connor with the put out there. Crowd here at the Polo Grounds still in amazement of that home run by Luis Gonzalez. But Joe Gordon is now up 0-for-1 today. That Sky to left. Right to Gonzalez, though, for the first out. Lou Boudreau, 0-for-1, old Shufflefoot. And that's an error by Erga. Through to Cepeda low, and that forced Boudreau over to second base. Carlton Fisk, .290, 3 homers, 14 ribbies. That's a K for him. That is the first strikeout for Ed Morris. Bringing up Brooks Robinson, .256, 1-for-1. That's an out. Pioneers with that odd 1-1-2 line score right now. But the day is young yet. And here's Carlos Baerga, .277, 7 homers, 25 ribbies. That is Sky to right center. Galan will make the play. Buck Ewing, 193 hitter. That's a K. So his batting average is going to fall a couple more points. Hugh Duffy, 0-for-1. Base hit to left. Williams collecting that. 2 outs. No, I'm not going to run Duffy. We'll put it all in the hands of Christian Yelich. Oh, he did try to steal second, and there was an error on the throw that moved Duffy to third. So the first error for the Spits. Grounder to Connor, and the side's retired. Galan is up 1 for 2. Top of the order again. Base hit left center. So Galan's batting average is now at .500 for the season. Enos Slaughter is 1 for 1. Cepeda, oh, he didn't handle that well. Third error for the Pioneers. First and second for Ted, who is 1 for 2 today. Well, you know there's an out. It's just a matter of whether or not it was caught. Baerga made the play, bringing up Gabby Hartnett at 1 for 1. Tejada, safe at first base. He beats out the throw to Orlando Cepeda. So the base is again full of Spitfires for Roger Connor. 0 for 2. Skied to center. Yelich is going to make the play. Gallen tries to score from third on the sac fly, and he does, and the score is 5-1. I'm not going to take Morris out yet because he made an out on that last play. He's going to wait for the next base runner to get on, and it's Joe Gordon who's 0 for 2, and Cepeda goes unassisted on that. So it's 5-1 now. Bottom of the fourth for Pie Trainer, who is 0 for 1. That's a walk, bringing up Gary Shetfield. He's also 0 for 1. First K of this game, of this inning for Feller. He's at 3. Bringing up Luis Gonzalez. And stolen base attempt is foiled there. So there's 2 outs now. Skied to right center, but Slaughter will get to that one. So Morris is on a tight leash here, waiting for the first base runner to get on, and then we'll pull him. Lou Boudreau. Baerga to Cepeda for the first out. Bringing up Carlton. K bringing up Robinson. Bottom of the fifth, 5-1. Feller is at 52 pitches, can go 130. Morris is at 78. He can go 150. Cha-Cha Cepeda is 252, 0 for 1 today. And now he's 0 for 2 as Augie Galan will make that play. Miguel Tejada is 0 for 1. Gordon to Connor with the second out. Bringing up Carlos Baerga, another one of the Travelers. 0 for 1, 276. That's a base hit to right, all the way to the wall, and Baerga moves to second with a double, his 12th of the season. Brings up Buck Ewing. A walk. That brings up Duffy, Hugh Duffy. 287 and 1 for 2 today. Base hit to right field, bringing in Baerga, and it's 5-2. Tying run at the plate now for the Pioneers. One swing of the bat, and you're looking at a tie game. Yelich has done it 6 times, 294, 0 for 2 today. A little confab on the mound between Feller and Hartnett. Now to deal. That's a base hit. And Ewing scores safely. It is 5-3. Tying run at first base. The go-ahead run at the plate and Pie Trainer. With that 222 average of his, 0 for 1. Base hit. Duffy is sent home and he scores. It's 5-4. So here come the Pioneers. 3 already in the 5th, a 2-out rally. And we go to Gary Shetfield. 281, 0 for 2. And Trainer steals his fourth base. So now a base hit would give them the lead, possibly. Sky to left. Williams will get to that, and the side is retired, but a much closer game now. 5-7-1 for the Spits and 4-6-3 for the Nears. Augie Galan is 2 for 3. Now he's 2 for 4 after that grounder to second, and Enos Slaughter is up, top of the 6th. To Cepeda. And Morris is getting base runners, getting hitters out, which we haven't seen in the first few innings. That's a walk. So now it's an inflection point, and with Hartnett up, we're going to bring in a righty. We don't have any left-handed pitchers who could go, and I'm looking for a guy who hasn't gotten any use, which is not too many. We're going to go with Tony Mullane, because he has that 213 average. Mullane will come in. He can go 75 pitches. 4 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA atrocious at 11.57. But we think he can get the job done. Here's Hartnett, 2 for 2. And his 275 batting average. Force at second. Five to 4 going to the bottom of the 6th. And Gonzalez is 1 for 2. I'll check chat after this half inning. That's a base hit. Another hit for Luis, who's now up to 240. Cha-Cha, Orlando Cepeda, 0 for 2, his average 251. That's a K. Miguel Tejada is 0 for 2, 247. That is Sky to left center. Williams filling the gap and making the putout. 2 outs now for Carlos Baerga. Base hit to right center. Gonzalez goes to third and gets there. Runners at the corners for Buck Ewing. But I'm going to, let's see, do I have a backup catcher? I must. We're gonna try it. We're going to, okay, so Feller is a righty. I would probably be well advised for a lefty. Although I'm seeing a run percentage out of Ed Delahanty. That wouldn't be bad to have here. So let's go with him. Righty still. Delahanty, 281, 3 homers, 23 ribeyes, OPS of 766. Slow grounder. Delahanty beats it out. We have a tie game at 5-5. So Delahanty legs out a single, and we go back to the top of the order, and Hugh Duffy. And that was a line drive to the shortstop. So we have Cap Anson, King Kelly, and Butch Weiniger. We'll go with Weiniger. He of the 8 range and a pretty decent fielding percentage. Roger Connor is 0 for 2, hitting 227. Top of the 7th. I forgot to check chat. First out there, grounder to second. Let me just double check real fast. Have a good one, BP. Got to get back to work. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're almost out of here anyway at 1:35. Didn't take me long to do this. Joe Gordon is 288, 0 for 3. Sky to left field for Gonzalez for the second out. Lou Boudreau is 0 for 3. Grounder, shortstop over the first. We'll have a new pitcher in, Claude Passot. Okay, so I gotta make sure the Pioneers are not Team 2, and you just heard me make that error. So I'll fix that after this is over with. The refrigerator is right by, and I just needed to grab some water so I can finish this game. Yelich is 1 for 3, and his batting average now 298. Passot, we'll talk about him in a moment. Safe at first base, another infield single legged out. Passot, 18 and 2/3, 386. His whip is up to 1982. Great year for British Rock. By Trainer, 225. He's 1 for 2 today. Grounder, a base hit. That's going to go all the way to the wall. We'll watch Yelich motor around third and score at 6-5. The Pioneers with 5 straight runs unanswered. And with nobody out on the runner at second, we got Gary Sheffield, who is 0 for 3, 280. Base hit. We'll watch Trainer. He will score 7-5. Over to Luis Gonzalez, who's 2 for 3 and a home run. And a home run here would be nice. That's a K for Passot, his first. Strikes out 6.6 per 9 innings. Normally he would go 3.7. And Cha-Cha Cepeda is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. This is smoke to left field. Williams near the warning track will make the play. 2 outs now for Miguel Tejada, 246. 0 for 3 today. Connor tried to get to the bag before Tejada, but couldn't do it. So runners at first and second for Carlos Baerga. 2 for 3. Passot over to Connor, side retired. So we'll be back some point after 7 o'clock to do some RCW for you. Be a live version of RCW this week. Carlton Fisk 0 for 2, 281. Right back to the pitcher, side retired. All Mullane has done so far in an inning and 2/3 has gotten outs. Here's Brooks, 1 for 3. Baerga to Cepeda, 4-3 on that put out. Augie Galan, 2 for 4. And he's now 2 for 5. 7-5 going into the bottom of the 8th for Butch Weiniger, his first at bat of the day. We brought him in to sub out Buck Ewing in his low batting average. He's hitting 361 on the year. His OPS at 896 should be 723. Passot, a quick move to his right to make the put out there with the assist to first base. And now you go top of the order and Hugh Duffy, who is 289. Gordon with a nice play over to Connor for out number 2. Christian Yelich is 2 for 4. 302, and now he's 3 for 5 with that base hit. That moves him to 307. Pie Trainer is 2 for 3. He has a walk, a double, and 2 RBIs. Passot over to Connor, side retired. So now all Mullane has to do is get 3 outs. And the way he's pitched, I'm going to give him that chance. Slaughter, 0 for 2. 1 for 3, I beg your pardon. Well, now he's 1 for 4. And a great play by Baerga to spear that at second base. Ted Williams, 1 for 3, a walk and a ribby. Tejada, Cepeda. Down to the last out are the Spitfires. 70th game for each team. Here's Gabby Hartnett, 2 for 3. Tejada, that's it. The Pioneers win 7-5.
Luis Gonzalez hit home run number 9 on the season. Time of the game, 2 hours, 45 minutes.
So there you go, folks. Let's just play out the remaining games on the schedule for this June 21st, and we'll have the game of the week for you tomorrow. Might do that live too. This warmer than usual Thursday afternoon here in the Orlando area. Futurist win again, 9-1. Dead Ballers a winner, 7-3. Stars beat the Aces 5-1. Sultans over the Wings 10-4, and the Ironmen 2-1 over the Explorers. And nothing of note happened in those games that I could see. Ken Singleton had a triple double in that 7-3 win. So I hope you enjoyed today's docket of games in the Time Travel League of Baseball. We'll be back tonight. We're going to do This Week in RCW Live. And we'll go match by match through the Indy card. This has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Take care. I'm going to mute myself and let the stream finish.